UFC Abu Dhabi happened this past weekend. I'm going to break down the whole card, review everything that happened, give my thoughts and input. We went 5 for 5 on predictions and 2 for 2 on bets. If you like UFC picks, you like to make money, please hit the subscribe button. We hit Davison Figueiredo moneyline and Davison Figueiredo and Shara Magomedov moneyline parlay. We also hit Scotty Scheffler plus 350, plus 400 to win the Olympic golf event. Let's start off here. Darren versus Loopy to start the card. It was a close fight. I said it was going to be a close fight. The line said it was going to be a close fight. Darren ends up pulling it out, as I think she should have won, but there was no way they were not going to give her the win there. She's the star. They're in Abu Dhabi, which means they could do whatever they want with the cards a little bit. There's not laws like in Vegas. There's laws of scorecarding. There's laws on the judges. There's laws on the refs. There's not really that over there. UFC has a little bit more free range when it comes to that stuff. You get some really, really weird scorecards historically in Abu Dhabi. Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa, and man, I thought Tony was in the fight at first. He looked decent. He looked in it. He looked competitive at first. And then Michael Chiesa just literally just grabbed his body, and that was the beginning of the end. And Tony Ferguson had no answer for anything Michael Chiesa could do in the grappling. A little concerned for Tony Ferguson. After the fight interview, says he doesn't know if he wants to retire or not, so he's only going to throw one glove. That's I don't want to retire. This is what that means. That means I don't want to retire. Everyone's telling me I have to retire. Everyone's telling me I must retire, but I don't want to retire. He said he doesn't want to retire. He said, but he doesn't want to fight anywhere else besides the UFC. The UFC is not signing him. They're not re-signing him. I'll be shocked if the UFC re-signs him. He hasn't won a fight. He can't win a fight. Someone needs to sit him down and tell him he can't win a fight competitively. He can't win a fight at the top level. It's not going to happen anymore. All right? Someone needs to sit him down and tell him he's done, right? I'm probably going to make a video about this tomorrow, even more in depth, because he says he wants to stay in the UFC. The UFC's not re-signing him. I don't think they want him to go through anymore, and I think the PFL will gladly take him. If Tony wants to go to the PFL right now and fight, I think Tony can go to the PFL right now and fight. And I don't think it's smart for his health. I don't think it's smart for his future. But if the crowd low-key convinced him, because after the fact, there was interviewers asking him if he was retiring. He said, no, I'm not done. I think the crowd gave him that loud welcoming, that loud round of applause after the fight, the loud, like, thank you, Tony, like, we're here for you, we love you. I think that made him want to fight more. I think he thought, I can still do this, I can still get paid, I can still fight, because I think deep down he knows he's still got it, which is going to end up being the detriment to him. So I hope we don't see him fight again. I hope that was his last fight. I think it's only going to go downhill. I mean, his opponents are getting worse and worse. And, yeah, he's still losing. And he's getting finished, right? So he lost to a guy that already retired over a year ago. This was a fight that we were supposed to see a long time ago. He moved up to 170. Maybe if he goes back to 155, he gets, an easier guy, they're going to win. But the thing is, the UFC don't want him to win because he's not going anywhere. They're only going to give him a guy that he can help elevate, right? So I think safety to him. They should not re-sign him. I hope they don't re-sign him, and I hope that's the end of Tony Ferguson's career. Moving on to my favorite fight of the card. Figueiredo versus Marlon Chito Vera. Figueiredo inks out a win there in the third round. He took the second round off, and that's the problem with Davison Figueiredo, and that's why I think he lost Moreno fights. It's because he just randomly takes rounds off, and he's got to stop doing that, especially once he can be at the highest level with a guy like Sean O'Malley, a guy like Merab Dvalishvili, a guy like Umar Nurmagomedov. That man's not taking any minute off, right? He ended up inching it out, and man, he's got power, like scary power, Davison. He knocked down Marlon Chito Vera for the first time in Marlon Chito Vera's career. That's a very tough thing to do. And the question now is what's next for both of them, right? And I think Marlon Chito Vera should take some time. I mean, he lost to Sean O'Malley. He took that knee and didn't drop, but yet got dropped by Davison Figueiredo. So that shows the power of Davison Figueiredo. But I think Marlon should take some time off. He lost to Sean. He shaved the hair. Came in to the Figueiredo fight looking like a different person and still ended up losing a close decision. I think he should take some time off. I think it was a quick turnaround for him, and I don't even know who they would give him next at this moment. Looking at the rankings, I guess a Song Yadong, I guess a Henry Cejudo maybe, or maybe I think it makes more sense to give an up and comer, maybe a Kyler Phillips kind of fight, which if you're very, you don't want that fight. But if the money's better, you might take it. What's next for Figueiredo? This is a big question. Jan, Sandhagen now. I think one of those two guys makes sense. Make another title contender. I think Jan still beats him. I think Jan is still pretty elite in this division. Probably right below Davishvili. I would like to see him and Nurmagomedov fight. I think that'd be a great fight. Jan and Nurmagomedov. Co-main, Shara, Nurmagomedov, Michael Zajac. Shara wins, and those leg kicks are brutal, man. He's got elite level leg kicks, and he can kick with the best of them. Maybe the best. The way he does it with such volume, such pace, keeps the pace going, absolutely shuts down his opponent by the end of the fight. He's like so badly in pain, and that kills you. You know, those hurt, and I still wasn't impressed. That's the thing. I wasn't like, wow, this guy is like insane. Like, I wasn't impressed. He didn't do anything flashy. To me, he looks beatable at the moment. And I think as competition gets better and better, because he's gonna keep going up the pole, the ladder here, it's gonna get harder for him. And I think a good striker, could potentially put him on his butt. And I'm interested to see his development here to the next level as he moves up, but I wasn't impressed. It was a good win. It was a good victory. It was kind of how I predicted that he would wear him down, and he did. But I wasn't overly impressed, so we have to see what's next for him. Main event, Sandhagen, Umar Nurmagomedov. Kind of a boring fight, in my opinion, but man, Corey Sandhagen just can't get over the hump, man. This is now his fourth fight for a #1 contendership, and he just lost to Sterling, lost to Jan, lost to Dillashaw, now lost to Umar Nurmagomedov. Man, that man's scary right now. I would not want to fight that guy. If you're Sean O'Malley, man, you were shivering in your boots. Because if you get through Merab, who are you going to fight next? Topuria or Umar Nurmagomedov? Merab, Umar, and Topuria. He is dogs against all three of them. Those are no cupcakes. He is in deep water. I can see him, if he beats Merab, being like, I ain't fighting anymore. I'm going to boxing and fighting Ryan Garcia. Because I can see him trying to dodge those two. I wouldn't want to fight Umar. It's a clash of styles for him. Umar is such a good wrestler. Haven't really seen Sean do that. We've seen some takedown defense from him with the Sterling fight. But I would make Umar Nurmagomedov the favorite in that fight. I think him versus Merab would be very good. I hope we see that fight, honestly. But if I'm Sean, I'm very scared for this division. You got Umar and Merab staring you down. And if you want to move up, try to get the double belt, Topuria's a beast, man, and it's getting a little hairy and a little scary for Sean O'Malley up there. Overall, I was entertained by the card. I'm not gonna say it was the best card, but Dern, close fight win. Chiesa did, I think, what everyone thought. He would finish Ferguson eventually. Ferguson didn't do what everyone thought and didn't retire, didn't fully commit. Try to say I got more left, so let me do what I want to do, kind of thing. Sure, Magomedov won in a way of just wearing down your opponent. Didn't show something brilliant, didn't show something flashy, which he looked beatable. And Umar Nurmagomedov just kind of defeat Sandhagen in the wrestling. And Sandhagen just couldn't land, which was, I think, the most shocking part of the whole thing. Sandhagen cannot land punches. And that's a testament to how good Umar's standing, and it's better than I think most people think. And I think he's a very scary guy moving forward, as he's a 10th ranked guy, just beat the #2 ranked guy. Sean O'Malley's going to be nervous. That's my breakdown. I'm Josh Wissey.